Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to share this pick a card reading with you all today. I really hope that you're doing amazing and that you're in a space where you can receive this reading. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm so excited about this one. Today we are diving deep, way deep, into their true intentions behind those, mixed signals. Because, who has time for that? This isn't just about surface-level stuff. We're going to get to the heart of what's driving them. It's designed to offer clarity and help you navigate those confusing situations with a little more confidence, This reading is timeless, so whether you're watching it now or a year from now, if you're drawn to it, there's a reason. Okay, so for pile number 1, we have this gorgeous amber dragon, which is all about centering. It's perfect for unveiling the core and focusing on the root of their actions. Then for pile 2, we have this selenite cluster, and that's for clarifying. This pile helps cut through the static, seeking undiluted truth in communication. For pile number 3, we have this moonstone point. It's all about illuminating, reflecting hidden light, and understanding the unspoken influences. Finally, for pile 4, we have this rose quartz sphere, which is so protective. It's great for exploring vulnerabilities and those guarded hearts that are about to be exposed. Take a moment, close your eyes, and breathe. Trust your intuition in choosing a pile, no pressure. It's okay to check multiple piles if you're feeling drawn to more than one. Really tune in to which crystal calls to you. And now, let's make a little wish, set an intention, and let's dive into the reading. I am just so ready for this. Hey there, pile crystal amber dragon. So, with amber being all about centering, and the dragon adding that power, this reading is going to be laser-focused on the root of what's going on. We're really going to cut through the surface level and see their true intentions behind all these mixed signals, okay? Alright, so we've got the Moon, the Queen of Wands, and the Four of Wands. Okay, first impression, this is interesting. It's like there's a party happening, Four of Wands, but someone's hiding something Moon, and they're trying to act like they're totally in control, Queen of Wands. Let's dive in, shall we? Okay, the Moon. Ooh, secrets. This card is all about illusion, hidden emotions, things that aren't quite what they seem. This person is definitely not showing their whole hand. There's a lot going on beneath the surface that they're not letting on, okay? Maybe they're confused themselves, maybe they're deliberately being mysterious. Ooh, intrigue. What are they hiding, right? Is it that they have stronger feelings than they are showing? And then we have the Queen of Wands, fierce and fiery. She is confident, independent, knows what she wants, right? But seeing her right after the Moon. I don't know, it's like she's putting on a show. Like they want you to think they're all that, totally unbothered when really. The Moon is telling a different story. Maybe they're trying to overcompensate, Like, oh, I'm totally fine, I don't need anyone. When inside they're like, please notice me. Could also mean that they're normally this confident, but around you that Moon energy takes over and they become unsure. Now, the Four of Wands. This is about celebration, harmony, stability, home. It is about a desire for partnership. It's like they want that with you, maybe. Or at least they're drawn to the idea of it. But with the Moon clouding things and the Queen of Wands trying to act like she doesn't care, getting to that stable place is going to be tricky, right? Like, they want the Four of Wands, but they're scared or unsure how to get there, or if they even deserve it. They could also be wanting this celebration, with multiple people keeping you and others on the hook, if that makes sense. There is definitely more to uncover here. Okay, wow, the Six of Pentacles. This is really interesting in this mix. So this card is all about give and take, right? Generosity, charity, but also power dynamics and sometimes even debt. Seeing it with the Moon, it's like maybe those hidden emotions are tied to feeling indebted to someone, or conversely, feeling like someone owes them something. Like maybe they're secretly resentful that they're always the one giving, and they feel like they are not getting anything in return, It's like underneath that surface of mystery and illusion, there's this imbalance that's causing a lot of the confusion. Or what if they are secretly giving someone else a lot of attention or resources, and that is why they are acting so weird with you and being so secretive? And it also makes me wonder, Is this person secretly being charitable towards someone? Or could someone be taking advantage of their generosity, and they are trying to keep it on the down low? It is like there is a big financial secret here, and it is really adding to the confusion of it all. Okay. Now, linking this to the Queen of Wands. This could mean that all that confidence is like a front for someone who's actually feeling really insecure about what they have to offer. Like they're trying to project this image of being totally self-sufficient and powerful, but really, they're worried that they don't measure up, right? Or maybe they feel like they always have to be the giver, and they're exhausted by it. The Queen of Wands is supposed to be independent, but with the Six of Pentacles here, it's like, are they really independent, or are they propping someone else up? Are they trying to buy love or attention? This is really getting juicy. It could even be that generosity is part of their Queen of Wands persona, like they want to be seen as generous and successful, even if it's not entirely genuine. And finally, the Four of Wands. Okay, so the desire for stability and harmony. With the Six of Pentacles, it could be that they're trying to create that stability by, like, buying people's affection or loyalty. Or maybe they're afraid that if they don't keep giving, the whole thing will fall apart, you know? Like, that celebration and harmony is conditional on them maintaining this imbalance of give and take. It's like they are afraid that nobody will want to be their friend or partner unless they keep giving and providing. So, it is like they think their money is tied to their personality in a way. This also suggests the potential for uneven partnership. Okay, so, overall, the Six of Pentacles is really highlighting some major imbalances and power dynamics that are fueling all those mixed signals. This is definitely adding a layer of complexity. I wonder what the next card will reveal about how they plan to resolve all of this. Okay, wow, Death. So this card is like intense, right? But don't freak out. It's not about physical death, okay? It's about transformation, endings, and new beginnings. Seeing it after the Six of Pentacles. It's like something has to end in order for that imbalance to be corrected. Maybe a relationship dynamic is dying, or a way of thinking, or how they are approaching their relationships is ending, you know? It's like whatever secrets are hidden by the moon, whatever facade they're putting on with the Queen of Wands. It's all coming to a head, and something's gotta give. And the Four of Wands, that desire for stability. Maybe the current version of that stability needs to die, so a healthier, more authentic version can be born. Does that make sense? This card is about shedding old skin, like a snake. It's about releasing what no longer serves you, even if it's scary or painful, okay? So maybe they're realizing that their generosity, Six of Pentacles, has been taken advantage of, and they are finally putting a stop to that pattern, ending their relationship with a taker. Or maybe, like, the Queen of Wands act is exhausting them, and they're ready to be more vulnerable and real, even if it means letting go of some control, right? It can also suggest they want to end the honeymoon phase of the Four of Wands and move to a different phase of the relationship. Maybe they are ready to make things more serious or move in together. And all those hidden emotions from the moon, maybe those are finally coming to the surface, forcing a confrontation and, ultimately, a cleansing. It's like a pressure cooker that's been building and building, and now it's time to release the steam. This could also mean that their intentions are changing, right? Maybe they initially wanted one thing, Four of Wands harmony, Queen of Wands admiration, but now they realize that's not what they truly desire. Or that the way they were going about getting it was unhealthy. This Death card is saying, nope, gotta start over, gotta do things differently. It's like the universe is hitting the reset button. Okay, but what is the new intention? I am so curious what new beginning this card leads to, like, what's being born from the ashes, you know? This reading is getting so good, and I cannot wait to see what the next card brings, okay. Okay, wow, the Lovers. So, with the moon hiding stuff, the Queen of Wands acting all confident, the Four of Wands wanting that stability, the Six of Pentacles showing the imbalance, and then Death shaking everything up. This card feels like a major turning point, right? The Lovers is all about choices, partnerships, values, and like, big decisions that align you with your true self, okay. It's not just about romantic love. It's about choosing what path feels right in your soul. So, how does this fit? Well, remember the moon and all those hidden emotions. This could mean they're finally facing those feelings and having to choose between different paths based on what they truly desire, not what they think they should desire, right? And that Queen of Wands act. Maybe they're realizing that being so independent and in control is keeping them from true connection, and they need to choose vulnerability instead, you know. Now, with the Four of Wands and that desire for stability, the Lovers suggests they're at a crossroads. Like, do they choose the easy path, the one that looks good on the surface, or do they choose the path that's more authentic, even if it's scarier? Maybe they will choose a partner or a lifestyle that really aligns with who they are. And that Six of Pentacles imbalance. This is huge because the Lovers is all about equal partnerships. Maybe they're realizing they need to choose a relationship where there's mutual give and take, not just them constantly giving or constantly taking. Like, they are ready to choose love where they feel loved, and where they feel like it is a fair energetic exchange. Maybe they are even choosing to step away from a relationship or situation where things are not balanced. And that Death card. That transformation is pushing them to make a choice that completely changes their life. It's like they can't keep going the way they've been going. They have to choose a new direction, a new partnership, a new way of being. This card is about finally choosing themselves. This is them maybe finally choosing to be with someone that makes them happy. This person has been going through all of these trials and tribulations. They are coming to a point where they need to really decide on what it is that they want. Everything they have been working on, it is all coming down to this. I cannot wait for this next card. Okay, wow, the Ace of Swords. So this card is like bam, truth. It's about new ideas, new beginnings, cutting through confusion. It's like a sword slicing through the fog, and all of a sudden, everything is crystal clear, you know? After all that stuff with the Moon, Queen of Wands, and Four of Wands. This feels like a huge breakthrough. Remember the Moon and all those hidden emotions. The Ace of Swords is like shining a light on them, forcing them into the open. Maybe they finally understand their own feelings, or maybe they're seeing through someone else's BS, right? And that Queen of Wands act, the Ace of Swords could mean they're dropping the facade and being real. Like, they're tired of pretending and they're ready to be authentic, even if it's scary. With the Four of Wands and that desire for stability, this could mean they finally see what's been blocking them from getting there. Like, they realize what needs to change in order to create that harmony they crave. Ooh, it's getting so good. Now, with the Six of Pentacles and that imbalance of give and take, the Ace of Swords is like, enough. Maybe they're finally seeing how they've been taken advantage of, or how they've been enabling a toxic dynamic. This card is about cutting ties with what's not working. Remember the Death card? That transformation? The Ace of Swords is like the catalyst for that change. It's the moment they realize they can't keep going the way they've been going. The Lovers card is about making choices, so maybe they are going to decide to choose themselves. This card is about finally choosing themselves and finally choosing clarity. It's like they are breaking through the barrier of confusion. But like, what does this clarity look like? Is it a sudden realization? Is it a difficult conversation? Is it a moment of self-awareness? This card suggests, like, everything is becoming very obvious to them. This clarity could be about their own feelings or somebody else's true intentions, you know? Okay, so I'm getting the sense that this is a really pivotal moment. It is really, really good, and I cannot wait to see what the next card brings, because it is going to tell us how they act on this newfound clarity. This reading is seriously awesome. Okay, so after all that clarity from the Ace of Swords, we've got the Hanged Man, right? This is like, so key to everything we've talked about. So remember that Moon energy, all those hidden emotions. The Hanged Man is like saying, okay, you've seen the truth, now you need to look at it from a completely different perspective. This isn't about forcing things. It's about surrendering to the process. It's about, like, letting go of control and seeing what happens, you know? And the Queen of Wands, maybe they need to let go of that need to be so independent and strong all the time. The Hanged Man is about vulnerability, about showing your true self, even if it's scary. Maybe they are going to realize that to truly connect with somebody, they need to show their vulnerability instead of just projecting the persona of confidence. And with the Four of Wands, that desire for stability. The Hanged Man is saying, okay, maybe the way you've been trying to create stability isn't working. Maybe you need to sacrifice something, to let go of an old idea of what stability looks like, to get what you really want. Like, maybe their idea of stability is not what is right for them anymore. It is time for a change of perspective. Remember the Six of Pentacles and that imbalance? This could be about finally realizing that they need to sacrifice that imbalance. Like, maybe they need to stop giving so much, or maybe they need to stop trying to control the situation with their generosity, you know? The Hanged Man is really saying that they need to do some self-reflection. This will help them choose the right path that is really right for them. The Lovers is all about choosing the right path. This is such a spiritual card, and this card is really saying that they need to choose wisely and to really consider what the universe is telling them. After the Death card, that transformation, the Hanged Man is about integrating that change into their life. It's about finding meaning in the ending and using that to create a new beginning. It's about seeing the bigger picture. After all of this, they will have clarity. That Ace of Swords clarity, right? The Hanged Man is about taking that clarity and using it to shift your entire perspective. It's about seeing things from a higher level, understanding the lessons, and moving forward with wisdom. The Hanged Man, with Amber Dragon's energy of centering, is like finding peace in the stillness. Finding clarity in the surrender, you know? It's about trusting the universe and knowing that everything is happening for a reason. It is time to take a step back and really think about what is going on and find a new perspective to change the situation. So, for you, Amber Dragon, the message is to embrace the pause, trust the process. And know that by letting go, you're actually opening yourself up to something even better. Okay. Hey there, friend, welcome, welcome. If you chose the Selenite cluster, you're drawn to its clarifying energy, which is so perfect for this reading about cutting through the static and finding undiluted truth. Because you're here to get to the bottom of those mixed signals, right? Like, what's really going on? Okay, so let's dive right into these cards. First up, we have the Hanged Man. This card often represents a period of suspension, of feeling like you're kind of stuck in limbo. It's like you're waiting for something to happen, but nothing is moving forward. It could mean you're feeling held back by this situation with them, unable to really move on or make a decision, and that you're being asked to look at things from a different perspective, you know. Maybe you're seeing the situation one way, and the universe is nudging you to consider other angles. It might even feel like a sacrifice, like you're putting your own needs on hold for this person, or maybe the potential of this connection. You're kind of just hanging in there, waiting it out. Now, right next to that, we have the Eight of Swords. Oof, this one is intense. This is all about feeling trapped, but the thing is, a lot of the limitations are self-imposed. You might feel like you're surrounded by obstacles and restrictions, but really, it's your own thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back. Are you maybe overthinking things? Creating stories in your head about why this can't work, or why they're sending these mixed signals? Like you're bound, but you hold the key, you know? You're not seeing your own power to change the situation. This card is a big nudge to challenge those limiting beliefs and recognize that you have more freedom than you think. It could be that you're so focused on the negative aspects that you're missing opportunities to break free. And then, finally, we have the Six of Cups. This card brings a softer energy. It's often associated with nostalgia, memories, and a longing for simpler times. It can represent a connection to the past, childhood friendships, or a desire for harmony and innocence. So, with these mixed signals, it could mean that this person evokes a sense of nostalgia in you, a feeling of comfort and familiarity. Maybe they remind you of someone from your past, or they represent a type of relationship you've always longed for. But, and this is important, it can also be a warning to not get too caught up in the past. Are you idealizing this person or this connection? Are you seeing them as you want them to be, rather than as they truly are? Because that nostalgia could be blinding you to some red flags, you know. Okay, so now we have the Hermit, which is, wow, that's really interesting in this context, you know? The Hermit is all about taking a step back, going within and seeking your own truth. Like, it's a card of solitude, introspection, and finding answers within yourself. So, how does this fit with the Hanged Man, the Eight of Swords, and the Six of Cups? Well, first of all, it really amplifies that feeling of needing to look at things differently. Remember how the Hanged Man was about seeing things from a new perspective. The Hermit is like, okay, but to get that new perspective, you need to go inside yourself, you know? Like, really disconnect from the external noise and tune into your own inner wisdom. And with the Eight of Swords, where you were feeling trapped by your own thoughts, the Hermit is like, the way to break free from those self-imposed limitations is to go on an inner journey to understand where those limiting beliefs are coming from in the first place, you know? Like, to really question them and see if they're actually true. So, in terms of the mixed signals, this could mean a couple of things, right? It could mean they are pulling back, like they're needing some space to figure out what they truly want and what they truly feel. Maybe they're just as confused as you are, and they need to go on their own hermit journey to get some clarity, you know? And that's why the signals are so mixed. It's not necessarily about you. It's about them trying to figure out their own stuff. But it could also mean you need to take on the role of the hermit. Maybe you're so caught up in trying to decipher their signals and figure out what they want that you're not tuning into your own needs and desires. Like, are you even sure you want this? The Hermit is asking you to disconnect from the drama, the overthinking, and all the mixed signals and just ask yourself, what do I truly want? What would make me happy? And how much of this is nostalgia, like that Six of Cups was saying, versus a genuine connection in the present? This card really emphasizes that clarifying energy of the Selenite, you know. It's all about cutting through the noise and finding that undiluted truth within. So whether it's them or you, or both of you, someone needs to do some serious soul-searching, I think. Okay, I'm so curious about what's coming up next. Let's pull the next card. Okay, wow, the Ten of Wands. That's really interesting, especially with everything else we've got going on here, you know? So the Ten of Wands, it's like, this is the card of being completely, utterly overwhelmed. Like you're carrying way too much, you're burdened, you're stressed to the max, you know? So immediately, like, I'm thinking a couple of things. First, this could be about them, right? Like, maybe the reason they're sending these mixed signals is because they're just completely overwhelmed with their own life, you know? Maybe they've got too much on their plate at work, or with their family, or whatever, and they just don't have the emotional bandwidth to really invest in a connection right now. And that's why they're hot and cold, because they're just scattered. But okay, but here's the thing, let's bring in the other cards. Remember the Eight of Swords, how you might be feeling trapped by your own thoughts and beliefs. Well, maybe you're also taking on too much responsibility for this situation, you know. Like, are you trying to analyze every single text, every single action, trying to figure them out, trying to fix things maybe? Like, are you carrying the weight of this entire connection on your shoulders? And the Hermit, remember, stepping back, going within, the Ten of Wands is like, you need to put that down. You cannot do all the emotional labor here, you know. You need to let them carry some of the weight, or this is never going to work. Or, okay, a different angle, bringing in the Six of Cups. Maybe you're carrying the weight of past relationships, like, are you projecting old patterns and expectations onto this new situation? Are you trying to recreate something from the past, and that's why you're feeling so burdened, because it's just not sustainable, you know? You're trying to force something that isn't there. So, okay, with the Selenite energy, it's like, where can you simplify? Where can you lighten your load? Is it about setting boundaries with this person? Is it about releasing some of those expectations from the past? Is it about just admitting that maybe this isn't the right time or the right person and just letting it go, you know? Because you cannot carry all of this weight forever. Something's gotta give. Okay, wow, I am so curious what the next card is going to be. Okay, oh my gosh, the Devil. That's a huge card, you know? Like the Devil is all about like restrictions, right? Feeling trapped, unhealthy attachments, maybe even addiction. So, okay, how does this fit with everything else we've got going on? Well, immediately I'm thinking about the Hanged Man, that feeling of being stuck, right? The Devil can really amplify that. Like it's not just that you feel stuck, it's like you're chained to this situation somehow, you know? And the Eight of Swords, those self-imposed limitations. The Devil says, yeah, and maybe some external limitations too. Maybe you're not even seeing the full picture of what's keeping you bound. And then there's the Six of Cups, that nostalgia. The devil can be like, are you addicted to that nostalgia? Are you chasing a fantasy that's actually really unhealthy for you? And the hermit, right? Needing to go within? The devil can be the voice that says, nah, don't do that. Stay comfortable in your chains. It's easier here. And the Ten of Wands, feeling overwhelmed? The devil can be the reason why you're carrying so much, Like this card could mean a couple of things about their intentions, right? Like, are they intentionally keeping you hooked? Are they playing games? Are they deliberately sending those mixed signals to keep you off balance, to keep you wanting more? That's not good. It could be a power thing for them, But okay, let's not just put it all on them, right? Let's look at your side of this. What unhealthy attachments are you dealing with? What are you addicted to in this situation? Is it the attention, even if it's inconsistent? Is it the drama? Is it the hope that things will eventually change? The devil is asking you to really look at your own chains, What are you getting out of this, even if it's not good for you? Because those mixed signals, maybe they're not just about them. Maybe you're also drawn to the push and pull, Maybe it's familiar somehow. This is getting deep, right? Okay, I'm almost scared to see what the last card is gonna be. Okay, oh wow, the Hierophant. That's super interesting given everything else that's come up, The Hierophant is all about tradition, institutions, doing things the right way, So immediately I'm thinking about a couple of things. First, let's tie this into the other cards. Remember the Six of Cups, that nostalgia and longing for the past. The Hierophant could be saying that you're trying to fit this relationship into some kind of traditional mold, Like, you have this idea of what a relationship should look like, and you're trying to force this person into that box. Or maybe they're the ones with those traditional expectations, right? Maybe they have a very specific idea of what a relationship should be, and they're sending mixed signals because you're not fitting into that mold, And with the Devil card, all those unhealthy attachments, the Hierophant could be saying that those attachments are rooted in some kind of outdated belief system, Like you're clinging to something that's not serving you because you think it's the right thing to do. Okay, so back to their intentions, right? This could mean that they're looking for something very traditional, very stable, very, conventional, Maybe they're not even aware of it, but they're subconsciously looking for someone who fits a certain role, someone who will follow the rules, and the mixed signals are because they're not sure if you're that person. Or okay, a different take, maybe they are aware of it, and they're intentionally sending mixed signals to see how willing you are to conform to their expectations, to see how much you're willing to bend to their will. That's not great, right? But okay, let's bring it back to you. How does this relate to your journey, right? Are you clinging to some outdated beliefs about relationships? Are you letting societal expectations dictate your choices? Are you so focused on doing things the right way that you're ignoring your own intuition and your own needs? The Hierophant is asking you to question those beliefs, to challenge those traditions, and to decide for yourself what's truly right for you, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Wow, this is getting even deeper, I am so curious about what's coming up next. Okay, the Moon, wow, this is everything is about to be revealed, But in a shadowy, mysterious way. So, with all those mixed signals, the Moon is saying there's definitely something hidden going on, something beneath the surface that you're not seeing. It's like all those other cards were clues, and now you're about to uncover the real story, Okay, so let's go back to the Hanged Man, right? Feeling stuck. The Moon is yeah, you're stuck because you're not seeing the full picture. There's something you're not aware of that's keeping you in limbo. And the Eight of Swords, those self-imposed limitations, the Moon is those limitations are based on illusions. You're believing things that aren't actually true, and that's why you feel so trapped. And the Six of Cups, that nostalgia, the Moon is warning you that nostalgia is a big illusion. You're idealizing the past, and it's blinding you to the present. Okay, and then the Hermit needing to go within, right? The Moon is yes, but be careful because your subconscious can be tricky. You need to really trust your intuition here, not just your thoughts. And the Ten of Wands, feeling overwhelmed? The Moon is saying that you're carrying all that weight because you're trying to control something that's ultimately out of your control. You need to surrender, to let go of the need to know everything, and just trust the process. And then the devil, right? Those unhealthy attachments. The moon is like, those attachments are based on secrets and lies. You're clinging to something that's not real, something that's ultimately destructive. And finally, the Hierophant, those traditional expectations. The moon is like, those expectations are based on outdated beliefs. You need to break free from those constraints and create your own path. So, what does this all mean about their intentions, right? Well, the moon is saying that their intentions are murky, unclear, maybe even hidden from themselves. They might not even know why they're sending those mixed signals. But here's the thing, it doesn't really matter, you know? What matters is your intuition. What does your gut tell you about this person? Do you feel safe, supported, and loved? Or do you feel confused, anxious, and manipulated? The moon is urging you to trust your instincts, even if they don't make sense logically. This is a time to listen to your dreams, to pay attention to synchronicities, to follow your intuition, even if it leads you down a dark and scary path. Because that path is ultimately leading you to the truth, to your own inner wisdom, and to a place of greater clarity and power. You have the Selenite energy, friend, cut through the illusions. Trust yourself. You've got this. Okay, so Moonstone point, you guys, how beautiful is that? And it means illuminating, which is perfect because the whole theme of this reading is about reflecting hidden light and really understanding those unspoken influences, you know? Because sometimes what's not said is just as important, if not more so, than what is. So, let's get into these cards. First up, we have the Knight of Cups, and oh my gosh, he is like the ultimate romantic, right? He's coming in with all these dreamy, lovey-dovey feelings, ready to sweep someone off their feet. But knights, you know, they can be a little bit unrealistic. Like they're full of passion and emotion, but sometimes they're not the most grounded people, you know what I mean. So he could be coming at you with all this intense energy, but is it sustainable? Is it real? That's kind of the question. And then we have the Star. Ah, the Star is so beautiful, such a hopeful card. It's all about healing and inspiration, like wishing upon a star, literally. But here's the thing, stars are like super far away, right? So it's like this person might be putting you on a pedestal, seeing you as this ideal, this perfect being almost. And that can feel really good, but it's also like, is it genuine? Are they seeing the real you, flaws and all, or are they projecting some kind of fantasy onto you? This card can also represent a period of healing, like maybe you, or they, are coming out of something difficult and looking towards the future with hope. But then, bam, we get the Queen of Swords. And she is a total boss, right? Like, she is intelligent, independent, and knows exactly what she wants. She doesn't have time for games or BS. She's very clear about her boundaries, and she's not afraid to use her words to protect herself. So, you have this knight coming in all romantic, someone seeing you as this ideal, and then this queen who's like, okay, I appreciate the sentiment, but let's be real. This is what I need, this is what I expect, and if you can't handle it, then bye. So, what's really going on here? I feel like there's a major disconnect. Like the knight is bringing the initial spark, the star is fueling the fantasy, but the queen is bringing the cold, hard reality. Maybe this person, the knight, is attracted to you, but they don't really know you. They just see this idealized version of you. And the queen, well, maybe that's you, or maybe that's the person they're pursuing. Either way, someone is being very direct and clear about their expectations. And that unspoken influences theme, I think there are fears at play here. Maybe the knight is afraid of rejection, so he's coming on strong. Maybe the star is clinging to this ideal because they're afraid of being hurt again. And the queen, she's probably been hurt before, so she's putting up her walls. So many mixed signals. What are their true intentions? Ooh, I'm so excited to pull the next card because I feel like it's going to reveal everything. Okay, so the Two of Wands, right? This card is all about choices, like big decisions and like planning for the future. After all that energy we just talked about with the knight, the star, and the queen, this Two of Wands feels like someone standing at a crossroads, you know. Like they've got the world in their hands, metaphorically speaking, of course, but they're, like, figuring out what to do with it. So, maybe this person, whoever is giving off those mixed signals, maybe they're trying to decide if they should actually pursue this connection. Like the Knight of Cups energy is there, the star is making them feel all dreamy, but then the Queen of Swords is like a reality check. And so, the Two of Wands is them stepping back and weighing their options like, okay, is this something I really want? Is this something that can actually work? Or, and here's another thought, maybe you're the one at this crossroads. Like you've got this person coming at you with all this intensity, but you're also very aware of what you need and what you want, thanks to the Queen of Swords energy. So, the Two of Wands is you deciding whether or not to even entertain their advances, you know? Like, are you willing to invest your time and energy into this, or are you going to protect your heart and move on? It could also be about power dynamics, right? The Two of Wands often shows someone who's in a position of authority, like they've got control over their domain. So, maybe this person is used to being in charge, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate a relationship where they might not have all the power. Or maybe you're the one with the upper hand, and they're trying to figure out how to win you over. I really feel like this card is highlighting the need to decide whether to continue on this journey alone or to start building something with someone else. Like, do they share their world or keep it to themselves? What will they decide? Ooh, I'm so excited, because I feel like the next card is going to give us some serious insight into which way they're leaning. Okay, so we have the Emperor, which, oh my gosh, is like such a strong card, right? After that Two of Wands energy, like standing at a crossroads, this feels like a decision has been made or is about to be. But here's the thing, the Emperor isn't just about decisions, it's about like authority, structure, control, you know? So I think this really sheds some light on those mixed signals. Like maybe this person, the one giving off all the vibes, maybe they're used to being in charge. The Emperor is all about laying down the law, setting the rules, and, you know, having things their way. So that Knight of Cups energy, the dreamy romance, it might be genuine, but it's also probably like filtered through this need to be in control. Does that make sense? Like they're coming on strong, but on their terms. Or, you know what else it could be? Maybe this is about you needing to establish some emperor-like boundaries. Like, the Queen of Swords is great, she's clear and direct, but the Emperor is, like, the ultimate protector of the realm. He's building walls, setting up systems. So maybe you need to not just say what you want, but create a structure that supports it. You know, like, if you want a serious relationship, you need to set the stage for that. And, oh my gosh, I just had another thought. Maybe this isn't about control at all, maybe it's about what this person actually wants. Like underneath all the Knight of Cups impulsiveness and the starry-eyed idealism, maybe they're craving stability. The Emperor represents a desire for a solid foundation, a long-term commitment, a real relationship, you know? But there's also a warning here, right? The Emperor can be rigid, inflexible, even, like, a little bit tyrannical. So you gotta be careful not to become too controlling or to let them control you. Balance is key, always. So, yeah, the Emperor. Control, structure, desire for stability. It's all in there. But what does it all mean? Ooh, I'm so excited because I have a feeling the next card is going to, like, tie everything together and give us the final piece of the puzzle. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like, so exciting, right? After all that talk about control and stability with the Emperor, we get this fresh, new, overflowing cup of love. So, like, what does this even mean? Okay, so first thought, like, maybe this person, after all that internal debate with the Two of Wands, and like, wanting to be in charge like the Emperor, maybe they're actually ready to, like, open their heart, you know? Like, genuinely, like, let go of some of that control and just dive into this new emotional connection. It's like a total reset, right? But here's the thing, right? We still have that Emperor energy hanging around. So, like, maybe this Ace of Cups is still, like, filtered through that need for control. Like, maybe they're offering this new love, but like on their terms, you know? Like, I'm giving you this amazing gift, but you have to do things my way. Does that make sense? Or, you know what else? Maybe, just maybe, this Ace of Cups is for you. Like, maybe it's about you recognizing your own capacity for love and joy, regardless of what this other person is doing. Like, maybe you're the one who needs to open your heart and, like, receive all this goodness that's coming your way, you know? And the Queen of Swords, she's still there. So, maybe it's about you loving yourself enough to set boundaries and, only accept the kind of love that you truly deserve. And, oh my gosh, I just had another thought. Remember the star? And how it's about healing? Maybe this Ace of Cups is a chance to heal some old wounds and, finally experience a healthy, fulfilling relationship. But, healing isn't always easy, right? It can be messy, it can be scary. So maybe this card is also a reminder to be gentle with yourself and with the other person and, allow the love to flow naturally without forcing anything. You know, this could be an opportunity for everyone to drop their guard. So, new beginnings, fresh starts, overflowing love. But also, potential for control issues and the need for healing. So much going on, but what is the next step? Ooh, I am so ready for this next card. Okay, so we have the Magician. Oh my gosh, this is a game changer, right? After all of that back and forth and trying to figure out what's really going on with those mixed signals, the Magician steps in and it's bam, clarity. Okay, so first things first, the Magician is all about manifestation, right? Taking your ideas and turning them into reality. So how does that connect to everything else we've seen so far? Okay, so remember the Emperor. That need for control and stability. Well, the Magician has all the tools to make that happen, you know? He's got the wand, the cup, the sword, the pentacle. He's got everything he needs to, build his empire. So maybe this person, the one with the mixed signals, maybe they're not just craving stability, maybe they're actively trying to create it, you know? They're using all their resources and skills to, manifest this perfect relationship. But here's the thing, right? The Magician can also be a little bit deceptive. He's a master of illusion, you know? So maybe this person isn't being totally honest about their intentions. Maybe they're, using their charm and charisma to manipulate the situation and get what they want. Remember that Ace of Cups, that overflowing love? Maybe it's not as genuine as it seems. Maybe it's a carefully crafted performance to win you over or someone else over. Or, you know what else? Maybe this is about you. Maybe you have the power to manifest your own reality in this situation. You've got the Queen of Swords energy, you know what you want, and you're not afraid to go after it. So, maybe the Magician is telling you to, tap into your own inner power and, create the relationship that you deserve. And going back to that Moonstone point and the illuminating vibe, maybe the Magician is helping you see through the illusions and understand the unspoken influences that are at play. Maybe he's shining a light on the truth, even if it's not what you wanted to see. Maybe he is actually being straightforward. So, manifestation, illusion, power. The Magician is bringing all of this to the table. But what does it all mean for you? Ooh, I am so excited because I feel the next card is going to, give us the final piece of the puzzle and put it all together. Okay, so the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is such a feel-good card, right? After all that intensity and figuring out what's going on, this card just brings this vibe of celebration and harmony, you know? So how does this fit into the whole picture? Okay, so remember the Magician, manifesting your reality. Well, the Four of Wands is the result of that manifestation. It's you've put in the work, you've made the decisions, and now it's time to celebrate your accomplishments. So maybe this person, the one with the mixed signals, maybe they've actually successfully manifested a stable, joyful relationship with you, you know? All that Emperor energy has paid off, and now you guys are building a beautiful life together. Or, you know what else? Maybe, just maybe, the Four of Wands is about you celebrating your own independence and success, regardless of what happens with this person. Maybe you've realized that you don't need their validation or their love to be happy. You're a Queen of Swords, you know what you want, and you're not afraid to go after it. So the Four of Wands is saying, celebrate you. Celebrate your strength, celebrate your resilience, celebrate your amazingness. And remember that Moonstone point and how it's all about illuminating the unspoken influences. Well, the Four of Wands is shining a light on all the good things in your life and reminding you to appreciate them, you know? And to really understand what you value. So, whatever happens with this person, remember that you have the power to create your own happiness. You have the power to manifest your dreams. You have the power to celebrate your life, exactly as it is. So go out there and rock your world, you amazing human. Remember, the universe is totally rooting for you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope this helped. So with the rose quartz sphere, what we're looking at is protection, right? Rose quartz is all about guarding the heart, and that's so key for this reading because the theme is guarded hearts exposed, exploring vulnerabilities and boundaries. Someone's heart is about to be put to the test, and it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate that, Okay, first up, we have the Fool. Oh my gosh, this is classic. This is that fresh, naive energy, like jumping into something without really looking. It's all yeehaw energy adventure, excitement, totally open to possibilities, But it's also potentially walking into a situation blind. In the context of intentions, this card makes me wonder if someone's approaching this whole thing with completely pure, maybe even unrealistic expectations. Are they seeing what they want to see rather than what is? Are they totally oblivious to red flags? Or maybe, and here's another possibility, they're playing the fool to disarm someone. It could be totally innocent, but with the other cards. I'm not so sure, It's are they even aware of the game that's being played, or are they just a pawn? Then we get the Five of Swords. This is messy. This is conflict, someone feeling defeated, maybe even a little bit humiliated. This is definitely where the Yina energy comes in, that feeling of being trapped, of things not going the way you planned, This card suggests that whatever intentions were at play, things got complicated and probably not in a good way. Was there a power struggle? Someone trying to manipulate the situation to their advantage? It makes me think someone's true colors are starting to show here. And it ties back to the Fool. Did their naivete lead them into this mess? Or were they the ones causing the conflict all along, So what sacrifices were made and by who and why? Finally, we have the Queen of Swords. Oof, she is sharp. She's all about clarity, intellectual honesty, and not putting up with any BS. This queen sees through everything. After the mess of the Five of Swords, this energy is about cutting through the illusions and getting real. She's decisive, independent, and not afraid to speak her mind. So in this situation, she represents the need for clear boundaries and a clear understanding of what's really going on. Is this the querent needing to adopt this queen's energy to protect themselves? Or is this someone else involved who's finally stepping in to call things out? Is this the moment someone says, enough is enough, This is a call to be brutally honest, especially with yourself, and to not let emotions cloud your judgment. So where does that leave us? Well, pulls card the Hermit. Okay, wow, after all that. Chaos with the Five of Swords and then the Queen laying down the law, we get the Hermit. This is interesting, This is someone retreating, going inward. After all that external conflict, now it's time for some serious soul-searching. I think this is a direct response to everything that's happened. Someone needs to step back and figure out what the heck just went down, Was the Fool really that foolish? Was the conflict really necessary? Was the Queen's harshness justified? All those questions. The Hermit is all about introspection, looking for answers within yourself. It's about going off the grid for a bit, disconnecting from the noise, and really listening to your own inner wisdom, So, in the context of intentions and guarded hearts, what does this mean? Maybe this is the person who is playing the fool, realizing they need to take responsibility for their actions, oops, maybe I wasn't as innocent as I thought. Or maybe it's someone who got burned by the Five of Swords, and they're now licking their wounds and trying to figure out how to avoid that kind of situation again. It could even be the Queen, stepping back to assess the situation and make sure she's not being too harsh, am I being fair? Am I seeing the whole picture? See, this is where it gets interesting. The Hermit isn't just about hiding away. It's about gaining clarity and wisdom. And remember the rose quartz, the protective energy? This retreat could be a way of protecting themselves, creating space to heal and recharge before facing the world again. It's creating a safe space to examine your vulnerabilities without judgment, But here's another thought. Maybe this Hermit energy is about withholding information, Not in a malicious way, but more I need to process this before I share it with anyone else. Maybe they're guarding their heart by keeping their thoughts and feelings to themselves, at least for now. This could also mean someone is seeking guidance from an outside source, like consulting a therapist, a mentor, or even pulling their own tarot cards to get some perspective on this whole situation. It's like, okay, I need some unbiased input here, you know? So yeah, the Hermit definitely adds a layer of complexity to the situation. It's not just about what happened, but also about what's happening internally, you know? What are they learning? How are they growing? And how will that influence their future actions? I'm so curious, like, where does that leave us, you know? Okay, wow, the Devil. Oh my gosh. See, this throws a whole new light on everything, doesn't it? This is like, not just mixed signals, but potentially some really unhealthy attachments or desires at play here, you know? This is all about temptation, feeling trapped, maybe even addiction in some form. So, like, let's connect it back to the Fool. Was the Fool being tempted by something they shouldn't have been? Were they so blinded by desire that they ignored all the red flags and warning signs? Or, even darker, were they the ones doing the tempting, you know, using their innocence as a mask? It's like, are we talking about a literal deal with the devil here, you know? And the Five of Swords, oh man, this makes so much sense now. The conflict could be rooted in someone's unhealthy desires, their need for control, their inability to let go. Was someone willing to do whatever it took to get what they wanted, even if it meant hurting others or themselves? It's giving me major obsession vibes, you know? And then the Queen of Swords, she's totally fighting against these darker forces, isn't she? She's the voice of reason, the one saying, this is not okay, we need to set boundaries, we need to break free from these chains. She's not putting up with any of this devil's BS, you know? But here's where it gets really interesting. What about the Hermit? Is their retreat about confronting their own demons? Are they realizing that they have a shadow side, that they're not as pure as they thought they were? It's like, are they grappling with their own temptations and desires, you know? This could be a really powerful moment of self-awareness, or it could be a sign that they're just hiding from their own darkness, you know? See, the devil isn't always about external forces. Sometimes it's about our own internal struggles, our own self-sabotaging behaviors. Are they addicted to drama? Are they addicted to feeling needed? Are they addicted to control? It's like, what chains are they putting on themselves and why, you know? This definitely complicates things, doesn't it? It's not just about mixed signals anymore. This is about something deeper, something darker. This is about the shadow self, the parts of ourselves we don't want to acknowledge. And with the rose quartz there, like, are we protecting ourselves from acknowledging our own shadows? I am like, so curious to see what the last card is, because this could go in so many different directions, you know. Okay, here we go, Seven of Wands. Okay, so this is like standing your ground, you know? Feeling challenged like everyone's coming at you, you know? So like after the devil. And all those unhealthy attachments and the Hermit kinda going into hiding, now we have someone like ready to fight, you know? Who is it though? Like that's the big question. Is this the Queen of Swords, like even more fiercely defending her boundaries? Is she, like, not backing down, even if it means going against everyone else? Or is this the person who was acting like the Fool, and now they're feeling cornered, you know? Like, they're realizing they messed up, but they're too stubborn to admit it, so they're just digging in their heels, you know? It's like, no, I was right all along, even when they weren't. Or, and this is interesting, is this the devil energy itself, feeling threatened? Like, someone's trying to break free from its grasp, and it's fighting back to maintain control, you know? Like, it's not going to let go easily. It's interesting that this card often comes up when you're feeling overwhelmed, like you're facing a lot of opposition, you know? So, in this situation, it could be that whoever's intentions we're looking at just feels like the whole world is against them. But the key here is, are they fighting for something noble, or are they just being defensive because they know they're in the wrong, you know? Are they protecting themselves from something real, or are they just afraid of being exposed? And this goes back to that rose quartz energy, like, what are they really guarding their heart from? Are they guarding it from vulnerability, from admitting they made a mistake, from letting go of control? It's like, the more tightly they hold on, the more isolated they become, you know? Maybe this Seven of Wands is a call to examine what they're defending so fiercely. Is it really worth the fight? Is it actually helping them, or is it just creating more conflict and pushing people away? What are they so afraid of losing? This could also indicate someone is standing up for themselves or their beliefs, even when it's unpopular or difficult. It could be that after the introspection of the hermit, someone has found their voice and is ready to use it, no matter the consequences. I feel like they're being challenged on all sides. What do they do? So, yeah, I'm really curious, like, what's the last card gonna be? Okay, wow, death. Oh my gosh, okay, don't freak out, this isn't like a literal death, This is about endings and transformations, like major shifts happening. But in the context of intentions and guarded hearts, this is huge, Like something is definitely coming to an end, but what? And how is that changing everything? So, let's go back to the Fool. Does this mean the end of their naivete? Are they finally waking up and seeing things as they really are? Is it like the death of their innocence, Or does it mean the end of their approach to the situation, like they can't keep being so reckless anymore? And the Five of Swords, oh man, is this the end of the conflict? Is someone finally walking away from the power struggle? Or is it like the death of their ego, like they finally realize they can't win every battle? I feel like this card is asking if, whatever was happening just kind of needs to stop now, Like someone has lost and it is finally time to lay it to rest. The Queen of Swords, this is interesting. Does this mean the end of her harshness? Is she learning to be more compassionate, Or is it the death of her illusions, like she's finally seeing the truth, even if it's painful? I feel like the card wants to know, is this just a defense mechanism, or is she really trying to get to a real issue? Then, the Hermit. Is this the end of their isolation? Are they finally ready to come out of their shell and reconnect with the world, or not? Or is this like the death of their old self? They're emerging from their introspection a completely changed person. Maybe the Hermit is doing something that feels new or uncomfortable, but they realize it needs to be done. And then we have the Devil. Does this mean the end of those unhealthy attachments? Is someone finally breaking free from those chains, This is like a big turning point. It can't be healthy to live like this. Finally, the Seven of Wands. Is this the end of the battle? Is someone finally giving up the fight, Or is it the death of their resistance to change, like they're finally accepting what needs to happen? This may be someone deciding that they are not going to be walked over anymore. They may be changing their whole approach. See, death isn't always scary. It's about making space for new beginnings, And with the rose quartz there, maybe this ending is actually a form of protection, like it's preventing something even worse from happening, So, yeah, I'm really curious how this transformation is gonna play out, Oh my gosh, the Empress. Okay, after all that intensity, this is like the ultimate balm, This is about nurturing yourself, connecting with your inner goddess, and creating a life that's overflowing with abundance and love. So, how does this tie into everything else? Well, let's think about the Fool. Maybe the Empress is about embracing the joy of new beginnings, but with a little more wisdom this time, Instead of jumping in blindly, now it's about consciously choosing to create something beautiful and nourishing. It is like tending to your own garden, And the Five of Swords. This is about healing from those conflicts, about choosing compassion over competition, The Empress knows that true strength comes from nurturing and supporting others, not from tearing them down. The Queen of Swords, okay, so she's still sharp, but now she's using her clarity to create healthy boundaries, The Empress knows how to say no when she needs to, but she does it with grace and love. It's like protecting her energy so she can pour it into the things that truly matter. Then, the Hermit. This is about bringing that inner wisdom out into the world, The Empress isn't afraid to be vulnerable, to share her gifts with others, but she does it from a place of deep self-love and understanding. It is like, you have got to know yourself before you can share it with others. And the Devil, oh man, this is about breaking free from those unhealthy attachments and embracing your own worth, The Empress knows that you deserve to be treated with love and respect, and she's not settling for anything less. This is like standing up for what you believe in and walking away if you need to. Seven of Wands, this is about defending your values, but with kindness and compassion, The Empress knows that you don't have to fight fire with fire. You can stand your ground while still remaining open-hearted and loving. And Death, of course, this is about embracing the transformation and allowing new growth to flourish, you know? The Empress knows that endings are just beginnings in disguise, and she's ready to create something even more beautiful from the ashes. It is like a rebirth in so many ways. And with the rose quartz, it all comes back to love and protection, you know? The Empress is a reminder that you are worthy of love, that you are capable of creating a life filled with joy and abundance, and that you have the strength to overcome any challenge. So, embrace your inner Empress, darling. Nurture yourself, set healthy boundaries, and create a life that truly reflects your heart's desires. You deserve it. It's going to be great.